Hello, my soul fam. I am Ankita, and welcome to this special episode on my channel, Soul Space. Today, like many others in my country, I also want to invoke the divine's blessings of our deity, Lord Sri Ganesha. If you visit India at this time, your heart will swell with love and sweetness as you will feel the oneness with which everyone comes together to call home and celebrate Divine Lord Sri Ganesha's presence. As a child, when we all friends and cousins gathered to make the Lord's space ready, my eyes would twinkle at the thought, what is it that each person here resonates with when they look at the idol of Lord Ganesha? I would feel amazed at how the thoughts differ, but the feeling was always that of illumination in our hearts and a big smile on our faces for each one of us. Like every TV ever made receives the same program for a channel all at once. In the midst of how this resonance may differ for people, I kept thinking about the illumination felt in the hearts of everyone alike. In my spiritual journey, I feel I have the answer today, which I'm going to put in words here, in all my humility and courtesy. Yes, in India, we do have many deities whom we worship with great devotion, not from an intent to decide which deity is the most powerful or favorite, but because India in its spirit has always been a home to divinity, blessed with rich spiritual teachings. We chant, we pray, we make the effort to prepare our body to align with the vibration of higher energies by restricting our diets. As you may know, the spiritual energy is the one that can only come in from a pure infinite source. We call it God or universe or Parabrahman. And only a guru or the higher deities can make this energy accessible to us when we look for it, when we seek it in our hearts and minds. In the spiritual essence, every deity carries an energy of a specific nature and represents some spiritual qualities. The bodily form is just a symbol of these innate powers, and so worshipping any deity is basically invoking these powers. With the divine Lord Ganesha, this spiritual quality, I believe, is that of strength, inner power, and self-transformation. Lord Ganesha is known as Vignaharta, which means remover of obstacles. Ever wondered why is he called that? Does he send in someone to remove the obstacles that we are facing? No. To understand this, let's meditate on some of his symbolic elements from a spiritual sense, meaning let's go beyond the form. Lord Ganesha is represented with an elephant head. What do elephants symbolize? Wisdom, memory, compassion, vitality, longevity, and strength. In the soul consciousness, wisdom, memory, intellect, compassion are the products of higher chakras, while vitality, longevity, and strength are the products of lower chakras. If you are wondering what are chakras, then chakras are the energy centers with certain physical, psychological, and spiritual functions. The upper chakra pertain to the development of spiritual awareness, and the lower chakras concern with the physical body and materialistic drives and goals of the earthly plane. I have made a video in detail, so stay tuned for that. As we look at Lord Ganesha, we must understand that we are calling upon the element of balance. Spirituality means a perfect symphony or balance between our higher and lower energy states, our higher and lower chakras. How difficult is it to live our lives in balance? Think about it. Most of the times, we label our lives so much stressful that we find it normal to say, yeah, stress is a part and parcel. Well, let me give you a secret. You can do better. Because balance comes from the practices of virtues and saying goodbye to our vices. These vices are causing us vigna, obstacles, and since these vices are our unaware choices, practicing virtues is only what's going to lead us to self-transformation and to embody the spiritual essence of Lord Ganesha. Now let's see some of the symbolisms of Lord Ganesha to understand this spiritual energetic resonance. Lord Ganesha's form has a big belly and is seated with one leg pointing downwards, meaning his energy body is well rooted and grounded with a strong basic chakra. In Sanskrit, it is called as Muladhara, located at the base of the spine. Our attempts should be to balance our basic chakra, as in a balanced state, it brings us a strong physical and energy body, well-being, a sense of stability in oneself, making way for prosperity and wholeness in our lives. If you have shaky legs, can you take that trek or simply climb up the stairs? No. A big belly also represents acceptance of self and of others. How? Because our second and third chakra, which forms the abdominal area, is a center where our spiritual energy is stored. Spiritual energy is creative in nature. That is how a baby is born. What we call as our creation is basically a form of self-expression and our authentic emotions. A big strong belly is an indication of our inner power. A lot of what we resent about life and about others, we hold that emotional energy in our bellies, which only stops us from developing our spiritual awareness and from expressing ourselves freely. Accepting life as your friend opens you to the greater understandings and acceptance towards everyone. A strong basic chakra allows you to enjoy life as it roots you, brings you the sense of safety, security, nourishment, and belongingness. And a strong second and third chakra allows you to anchor in your stomach more spiritual creative energy than the negative energies of stress, hatred, and anger. This is the reason it matters to look into what are you holding on to. The mantra of let it be, or the act of letting go of those cold wars and resentments, becomes a way to live healthier and happier. Secondly, I would love to go back to the story of the birth of Lord Ganesha. It was said that Goddess Parvati created Lord Ganesha from the energy of her skin, without the help of Lord Shiva. When Lord Shiva returned from his 30 years of meditation, he was stopped by Lord Ganesha, which angered Lord Shiva, and he cut off his head, which he then replaced with the head of an elephant. Now, this story of Lord Ganesha is symbolic of two aspects: soul and its higher self. What is the role of a guru? To slay you of your old self, those old habits you carry and the lower emotions you hold on to, the negative thoughts you tend to nurture as your nature. Well, intelligence is a part of every creation, but it is the higher self, the higher Atma, that carries the wisdom to restore the spiritual and physical balance when this intelligence is being used improperly, inaccurately. Lord Shiva resembles Shakti, the higher power that manifests as creative destruction to clear the obstacles from the path so that the new form can take shape. Coming back to this story, little Lord Ganesha in the human form in this story is a representative of the soul's inability to distinguish itself from its physical nature to its divine nature, which is that of a soul, and not just the body. It also represents its inability to discern its own higher self through the use of its higher faculties, as it is so focused on the material aspects by operating from its lower faculties. It of course does not mean that Lord Ganesha is elephant-headed in literal terms. It only means that Lord Ganesha, a soul so divine, made contact with its higher self and realized its inherent wisdom through self-transformation and ascension into higher faculties. Another aspect that talks about self-transformation as a spiritual quality of Lord Ganesha is its control over Mushak, the mouse, that it has become its Vahan, vehicle. With the belly so strong, we talked about body consciousness, and with higher faculties, soul consciousness. And with the aspect of Vahan is where we talk about self-regulation, without which self-transformation cannot happen. It takes a lot to still the mind. We have seen how it loves to enhance every thought we have, right? And if he who cannot control his mind or is not willing to look within gives birth to ego, knowingly or unknowingly, and allows it to control his or her life. And he who has a control over his mind is humble, because he knows it is not a one-time thing and requires constant effort, practice. Let's understand this. Lord Ganesha is depicted with 4 hands, which in numerology again is an indication of strong foundation, stability, and balance. Quite interestingly, the message of one hand balances the other. His primary right hand is in the blessing position, which indicates the will to do good, and the left hand holds his favorite modak, indicating not just reward for work done well, but a feeling of goodwill, which stems from an expanded heart chakra, which is the 4th energy center. He chooses to bless all with what is dear to him, without any attachment. In the left rear hand is a rope, indicating discipline and constant attention to our own actions of choosing virtues over our vices. And in the right rear hand is shown an axe, which is indicative of when you operate from your higher faculties, you hold the ability of perceiving accurately, and so cutting off the cords of self-negativity frees you from your past karmic accounts. One of the laws of universe is experiencing contrasts, duality. And this Vahan is a depiction of the Lord Sri Ganesha, that no matter what the contrasts are, he has mastered the act of balance, self-regulation, and hence self-transformation. So this was my spiritual understanding of the Lord Sri Ganesha, which I simply enjoyed making for you as my creative expression. I hope you enjoyed listening as well. Before I end this video, I would love you to check out this amazing video which incredibly describes all the elements of Lord Ganesha's physical form. Do check that out. I'm sure you would love it. And to all my viewers, wishing you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. If you like this content, do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. Well, I am going to go listen to some of my favorite Ganesha songs today. Which song are you listening to? Let me know in the comment section below. Until my next video, take care and bye-bye. Namaste.